Tell this thing to shut up. There should be enough. Oh.
What was that?
All right. Lastly, headphones.
Headphones, very good.
Kids, lesson of the day, always have a case for your headphones.
That's right.
No, not so much.
We just throw them on the desk anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've had these headphones for
good
about
chat room today.
I
I've
know.
had these headphones for about 10 years now because I kept them in the
Gotcha.
case.
There you go. Alright, you ready, Ebo?
Let me pick up some notes. Is there any Eluja tonight?
No,
No.
she had a family obligation that she had to make it to, and she thought that we were skipping this week and going to be on next week and not vice versa, so...
Okay. Crap. Because she actually has done more of the expansion than I have.
Oh, yeah, no, we totally wanted her here because she's very interested in the game.
Yes. Well, okay, we'll get her next time, and we'll get her boisterous personality
Exactly.
for the next Final Fantasy show.
Yep.
Let's go. Ready to rock this thing.
1 second, Ted is feeding a 55-pound pit bull boxer.
Oh, okay.
All right, so chat room, can you see and hear us on the stream? Hello, chat room. Tell us when you can see us. Tell us when you can hear us. And this is my new lipstick, isn't it lovely? And that's not red enough.
Alright. Pick the live page.
Yeah, well, I think your milkshake's bringing all the boys to the yard tonight.
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
Oh,
I see you on
awesome.
the
Thank
live
you
stream.
so much.
Alright. Let's get this going. Alright. You ready?
You're leading this thing, by the way.
Oh, I know. I'm
Okay.
You ready?
Awesome, yes.
Alright. We're broadcasting, that's a good thing. We've got the live page up, we've got notes, we've got chat room, we have gunners. Alright, we're good?
Yes.
Going in 5, 4, 3. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
1 month till Nerdtacular!
developer interviews galore.
Exploding? Yeah, it's always an option.
Sign up for Heroes of the Pants.
And we have Apavan here to talk about AIE and Final Fantasy XIV.
All that and more coming up right now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 236 of the podcast celebrating the Alia Iacta Est gaming community, the Die Has Been podcast. This is Tetsumi, currently lost somewhere in Tanan Jungle, and to my left is McCullough.
Hey guys, I dropped some chocolate fig cakes over there in the guild kitchen.
Did you drop them or are they okay?
They're fine. I dropped them just like everybody dropped expansions and patches this last week, silly boy.
Ah, I got it. We sent out Aludra on a super secret assignment. Okay, let's be honest here. She's digging in the dirt. Shocking, I know. This week, we are joined by special guest Abavan, who is here to talk to us about AIE in Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome.
Oh my god, there's so much to do. Oh my god. So much.
So what have you been up to in or out of game? Well, we'll get to in-game later, but what besides Final Fantasy XIV, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been painting, and I've been living in a house without carpets or floors for about a month now, right, which has been rectified last week. So I finally got new carpets and floors. One day before we decided to have our little baby gender reveal party. So like within less than 24 hours after all the carpets were done, we had about 50 people in our house.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So
good timing.
You know, family, friends, and so forth. Lots of Smash Brothers were played that day. But
I'm sure.
We announced that we are having 2 daughters. So that is awesome.
Yay!
So 2 little AIE-ites will be joining us shortly.
The newest Hordlings, so excited.
Yes, it's going to be pretty awesome. But yeah, many a Smash, many a Kart, and I introduced someone to Injustice on the PS4, and that's a fun little fighter.
Very nice.
So yeah.
I think I know I read it on the cake on the Facebook page, but I don't recall off the top of my head. What are these 2 beautiful little girls' names going to be?
Well, we're going to have Catherine and Jacqueline, or for shorts, because short names are awesome. Cat and Jack.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah.
And you say it really fast, it's Captain Jack.
Yeah, you can, because
Yes.
According to what I hear about kids, time flies, so it's going to feel like we're traveling through time. Oh, spoilers. But
exactly.
You're only 10 years too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember with the diapers, it's bigger on the inside. No, never mind.
No, it's not.
No, all the stuff that we have, apparently in this house is smaller on the inside.
Yeah.
No,
most definitely.
But besides that, there's an expansion pack that came out in a game that I particularly enjoy. That would be Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Ward, which we'll talk about shortly. But just to give you a quick insight, quick preview what I'm going to talk about. It's so awesome!
And did you guys, just spoiler alert, did you guys get the airship before or after the expansion hit?
We got that, I think, slightly before the expansion officially hit in the early access.
Okay.
But we'll go over that wonderful little tidbit there in a little bit, because there's some fun things to talk about that. But there was an early access period, and then just like every other MMO expansion or MMO period that comes out, there's the early access period to test things out, and they had to test things, but they tested the things out. And
test all the things.
Test all the things. There is some nerd rage that happens on there on the public forums because why not? Some of it justified, some of it not so much. All of those issues ironed out before the game actually launched on the 23rd. It was Tuesday of last week, whatever that day was. It's in the notes.
It was 23rd.
But it came out. Everything was beautiful. We were able to welcome our Mac players to the game. But let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about AIE. We'll get to my stuff.
Best place to be.
We'll talk about my stuff later. You guys have plenty of stuff to talk about.
We always do.
And MK, what have you been up to in or out of game?
Well, about 4'10". Just kidding. Well, that's what I'm up to, without the heels. In game, we've raided due to our new patch dropping the other night, which made things a heck of a lot easier. It was actually kind of nice to kill bosses and not die repeatedly on the floor. I did die a little bit, but not as much as normally. I have not been able to play around much with the new patch. However, I believe I have a date with my computer on Wednesday night.
Yes, and we actually kidnapped you into the Tanan jungle, which you officially had not opened yet, and got you blueprints for a shipyard you don't own.
I will be opening that up very soon.
I don't know how that works, but it's awesome.
It works. You know what? We're just gonna say luck of the lock and go from there. Out of game and geeky stuff. Continued our 5th ed D&D game. I don't think I like playing the goody-goody cleric quite yet. But yeah, I know, it's funny. And then a friend of mine dropped a stack of comics on my desk a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, so I've been trying to read as much Fables as I can. I say holding up literally about 50 issues of a comic book. Yeah. We've just got some brand new geeky fabrics in for our headbands that my friend and I make, including a Sherlock Holmes wallpaper fabric, gamer dice, and adorable steampunk octopus. And we're hoping to have those done by Nerdtacular and headbands. So, Tet, what have you been doing in game or out of game besides cleaning up after me in the kitchen?
Yeah, that's mostly it, cleaning after you in the kitchen. That is my task. We raided on Thursday, and with the 20% nerf to Blackrock Foundry, we extended our lockout and went in and killed 2 new bosses that we had not killed before, and that was fun. So we actually got loot. I think you even got a tier piece, if I remember correctly.
I did.
And we're going to be finishing that up. We're going to go work on Ore Gorger, Iron Maidens, Furnace, and then hopefully Blackhand tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But honestly, the expansion hit. It's fun. There's story. There's some story missing, and I come to realize that, as I'm sure we're going to talk about in Final Fantasy XIV, the fun of the expansion is more exploring and hanging out and doing stuff with your guildmates in Mumble than regardless of what game it is. So we had so much fun Saturday night on our raid team fun run where we just went into Tanan Jungle and roamed around and did dailies, weeklies, killed rares, and just had a blast. So that was very fun. That's what I have been up to, but we will be digging into Final Fantasy XIV shortly.
Yay!
But first, let's cover this week's news. If it'll actually let me play the sound number.
AIE News.
All right, the great summer family nerd reunion, Nerdtacular, is quickly approaching. The annual celebration of all things Frog Pants is just over a month away. There's still a few tickets left, though I'm pretty sure there's no rooms left at Snowbird. So if you've been thinking about going but are waiting for the last minute, that time is now. There's also a meetup posted at meetup.com/AliaActaEst, and there's plenty of chatter in the Nerdtacular section of the Frog Pant forums, including people planning caravans, looking for roommates. Mew has board game requests out there, and more. And don't forget, Guildie of the Month. Help us recognize our outstanding guildmates in all the games that AIE is involved in. AIE's Guildie of the Month program is a way to acknowledge outstanding members of our very large, very wonderful community. If you know somebody that deserves to be recognized, please send an email to us at gotm@aie-guild.org with the name of the person you're nominating in the subject line.
And in World of Warcraft news, we had a patch! Yay!
Woo-hoo!
The developers have been out in force. Corey Stockton And Ian Hazzikostas sat down with different fan sites to discuss the patch 6.2 content and issues surrounding the patch. We have links to the Instance interview and the Wowhead interview, both in the show notes that we'll post when we post the podcast live. And there's been some lively discussion about the patch in our forums. Yes, use the forums. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We have 2 discussion threads posted up, one started by our own Randy Deluxe.
Yay! All right, and Eve. Apparently, politics and drama are rearing their ugly head in Eve. Yeah, shocking, right? This never happens. And Hoots has posted some emergency evacuation procedures in case of losing stuff in Fountain. Fly safe, guys, and remember, as Stu always says, exploding really is your only option.
It really is. And in Guild Wars 2, Jericho, I hope I pronounced that right, Jericho has started a thread on the forums discussing the new patch and AIE activity in Guild Wars 2, and Dahara has posted some good information in the thread. Jedi's also posted a new thread listing all the patch changes, and there's a good discussion going on about them as well. And we'll have links to both forum posts in our show notes.
All right, in SWTOR, remember that mandatory fun nights in SWTOR. Come one, come all. There's new stuff to see and do. It is Tuesday, I believe, at 9 p.m. server time. Arvis posted a thread discussing what to do with all those pesky basic accommodations you have been stacking up since you hit level 60. And on this episode, or on the most recent episode of the SWTOR Escape podcast, number 96, Sima, Max, and Astrotech EPC 96 dive into the details of Knights of the Fallen Empire, the news and clarifications that are continuing to be announced. I can't read because words are hard. They give their perspective and debate a bit on the direction that BioWare seems to be taking. They also cover game news from this week from both SWTOR and general news from AIE and SWTOR.
And in Lord of the Rings Online, Dux has posted a new thread entitled Welcome to Osgiliath with some awesome screenshots in the new zone. Please post your own screenshots and discuss what you enjoy about the new zones in the forums.
All right, Imperial Ludai, Ewok Punter. Hey, shouldn't that be back up in SWTOR? Has started a thread discussing the Heroes of the Storm Frog Pant tournament that's coming up. There's plenty of room for teams to sign up. Go do it, have some fun, and play with some Frog Pants favorites. Reminder from the last show, AIE has its own Minecraft server. More information can be found in the Nomad section of the Imperial Ludai forums. You do need to be whitelisted to join, but instructions and information about the server are there as needed.
And in Final Fantasy XIV, oh wait, that's coming up shortly. However, we did want to call out one special thing and a lively thread that's going on in the forums, entitled Our First Free Company Airship. AIE's first airship was built by AIE members. Pulling the resources together, we were able to christen the first airship named Henry.
Of course.
With that, let's get back to Abavan and find out what's going on in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes, please.
All right. So we do have our first airship, the AIE Henry. It's a little airship that does little errands for us, and we had to come together as a guild, as a free company, contribute resources to actually create the item. We had to build a workshop, which is an add-on to the free company house that we all reside in. It's a little separate. So we have that little area in there. We have a little there's a little guy in there that manages everything for us. A little robot dude. It's very cute. And we contribute all the items together. We build an airship, and this airship, right now, it can go out to different lands, runs like little missions for us, and it levels up. It has gear items, and we need to repair it every so often. It has experience that it needs to get and level up, and eventually he will come back with, and give us more crafting materials and additional potentially give us schematics for new items that we can then research and then build new things. Eventually, we can have up to 4 airships. We can only have the one right now, so we're building other things. Some more free company buffs items we're building right now, and a few other small items here and there. But that's what we're working on. We're leveling up our airships right now. Just Henry, but hopefully we'll be able to have some more airships and have some more fun names. And as the game goes by, future patches will let us go out with the airship.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
About how many people contributed, or if you know off the top of your head, to the fund to get that airship?
Many.
Okay. Many Botham decided to give us information. Okay.
Yes. I don't have the exact information to give you, but oh, excuse me.
Certainly a guild effort.
Yes, definitely a guild effort that went ahead to give us the free company airship.
Great.
So, about this expansion pack.
Mm-hmm.
This expansion pack is very big. Also very big, the collector's edition that it came with. And I mean the actual box it came with is big. For those on the video stream, or for those who went to the YouTube channel to listen to the podcast here, I am now lifting up the Final Fantasy XIV box. This box is the size of my head.
Yeah.
It is a big box.
You're not a small guy.
No. I'm larger than the average person.
Do you happen to have a banana for scale?
Banana?
I can give you an iPhone 6 for comparison.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go. Here's my iPhone 6 on the video stream,
that is
and
big.
it is dwarfed by this box. Now, what is inside the box? Because who cares about the box?
Right.
Some people like the box. I'm going to display this box. I don't know about you people, but I'm going to display this thing.
No, we display our boxes here.
So
we like big boxes, and we cannot lie.
So obviously, you get the game.
Right.
That goes without saying.
Which is tiny compared to the box.
Yes, it is a small little DVD of game stuff that really we just download. You just want it for the CD key. So the next thing comes with it. I've been a bunch of in-game stuff here, but we're talking physical things right now. Great conversation starter, but the art book. Traditional hardcover art book of fun. You also get a DVD. I'm sorry. Check that. You get a Blu-ray of all the in-game cinematics and music from the previous game pack, so what we call 2.0 or A Realm Reborn. So everything from 2.0 to 2.55, all the cinematics, all of the music, and a lot of other extras as well, are on a Blu-ray disc that you can pop into PlayStation 4 or your computer or whatever, or Xbox One, or just a Blu-ray player. But, who gets a Blu-ray player when you get a PlayStation or an Xbox? Yeah, everybody wins.
Right.
But it's all in 1080p quality. Watching all the cinematics at the highest possible settings, obviously, because they're trying to show how good this game looks, and it looks really, really good. It's a great way to, if you missed anything, it includes all the side quest cinematics too, not just the main story. So all the side quests, all the Hildebrand stuff is all on this Blu-ray, so that's very cool.
Oh, really? So Hildebrand does the artwork on it?
No, the character.
One of the Hildebrand brothers? Oh,
no,
God.
the character Hildebrand, the world's greatest detective.
Oh. Okay, I thought it was like you meant the artist. When the artist Hildebrand, I'm like, no way. No. Okay, awesome.
No, Hildebrand, the world's greatest detective. His story is on the Blu-ray.
Cool.
Very cool.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Hildebrand is probably the best quest line ever in the history of gaming, just because it's made to be funny and it actually succeeds. So it's very cool. It's very fun, and it's your quest rewards are dances. So keep that in mind.
Oh gosh, that's great.
Yes.
So
Dance Studio, because you get dances in Secret World and Final Fantasy XIV, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a lot of dances.
Yeah.
There's one patch that just gave you that was 3 dances, boom, right there. So there's a bunch of those, and Dance Studio, eat your heart out.
Right? What dance studio?
Yeah, exactly. Also, physical thing, you get a very cool little statue. So you get this guy. We can put this on the camera.
Oh,
For those on the audio
that.
stream, just Google Final Fantasy XIV Collector's Edition and look at images. This is what you're going to get. I know maybe the quality of this may not be showing through on Google Hangouts so much, but it's a very,
gorgeous.
very intricate and relatively large statue, not like the little action figures you get from time to time. This is I think from base to wingspan, it's probably like around 6-7 inches.
Cool.
It's pretty large. And but then there's the game. So we talked a little bit about the airships and the workshops and working together as a free company to build these things. So that's great news. We see. Future looking at my notes. Other great things about this game is the main storyline. This one is excellent. It is single player quality type of story thing where you actually see everything that happens, not just as much as I adore WoW, how it tells a story throughout the thing. A lot of times to get the whole story, you had to read the novels in between each expansion or in between patches sometimes. This one's all contained in the game. What happens in the game happens in the game, and it's the localization team for each culture. So you have like for the Americas or for Germany, the localization teams are excellent in actually making the game translate to each culture. So so the American culture understands what's going on. It's not like one of those. It's not like a wacky bend your head around 3 times animes that some of them try to be. So the actual story, I have not yet completed it myself on the expansion, but it's been estimated around 40-ish hours of new story content, not including side quests, not including like the repeatable levy quests out there, not including going through on your extra dungeons or the extras anythings. So there's a lot of main story.
And this was a full expansion. This wasn't just a patch to the game, right?
No. This is a full expansion. Notice full expansion.
This is the equivalent
by the
of
full
a
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, full box.
I'm just making sure my brain's trying to put it into WoW. So it's a whole number patch or a whole number expansion as well.
Expansion, right?
Okay.
It's like Kata.
This is 3.0.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. Cool.
3.0.
And if I remember correctly, is it Final Fantasy XIV or is it Guild Wars that if you buy the expansion, you get the whole game?
Guild Wars, wasn't it?
It might be. Okay.
It's kind of true with one of the purchases you can make with Final Fantasy. So when you purchase the expansion, you have a choice of buying the expansion, the digital collectors, physical collectors, or you can get a combo pack that has both the base game and the expansion. So you're kind of right. So yes, that is true. You can buy, if you haven't played a lick of Final Fantasy XIV yet. First off, what are you waiting for? Secondly, yes, you can buy both the base game and the expansion in one box, or one digital download, because
one key.
If the game's if the game doesn't come with cool statues, are you really going to buy the box? In this day and age,
And remind me, subscription or no subscription?
Yes, there is a sub for this one. If you pay for it 1 month at a time, it's your standard $15. If you only want one character, you can drop it down to $13 a month.
Gotcha.
You only want one character per server. Now, if you want to go, if you purchase the full subscription at 6 months at a time, it works out to being $13 a month. If you pay for it at 6 months at a time, though. So it all depends on how much you want to do, and you can. I have seen at not all, but some game stores out there do have the game cards that you can purchase physically with some really cool artwork on there.
Right.
Or you can get digital game cards, or you have game cards shipped to you from Amazon if you like the game card route. Otherwise, standard credit card or pay. Actually, I'm not sure if they do PayPal. They might.
I don't know.
But they do. They also have Krista, which is another currency that you purchase Krista and can be used for in-game services or for game services overall. I've never done that, but some people, that's what they do to pay for the game.
Gotcha.
Right.
So
sorry, minor rat hole.
So, big game. Plus, so you got 40 hours of scenario. Main scenario. Then you have all your side quests. And then you have all your levies. Then you have your dungeons. Then you have your other classes you can level up. And again, for those who are not aware, in case you haven't heard me preach this before, the best feature about this game is your one character can be all the classes. So think of it as do all the things exactly. So let's take the WoW example. You are a druid, and I say I want to be a healing tree. Click, I am now a healing tree. Click, I'm now a bear. Click, I am now a kitty cat of doom. I am now a boomkin. Now take that same idea and apply that to all the classes in the game, not just. So let's say I'm now a black mage, so I'm now throwing fireballs and icicles at everybody. Oh, now I want to be a tank. Click, I am now a paladin or a warrior, so fear ankles on the big bad guy, clunk. Oh, now we need a healer. Poof, I am now a white mage. Now we need a stabby person. Poof, I am now a ninja. It's that easy.
Very cool.
Yep. So, and with this expansion, we now have 3 new classes: a new tank, a new healer, and a new DPS. So we have a Dark Knight, which is a tank, and then you have a healer, which is the Astrologian, which is more like a combo-based healer type thing. I haven't played too much of this class yet, but you play cards, and that's how you heal people or do your spells. And it's a lot of very cool visual effects. Even as someone who just witnesses them, as my party mates or other random people are playing with the cards as they're playing through the game content. And then there is also the machinist, which is your DPS class, which is like a turret / gun wielding class. Mm-hmm. And that's it's very cyberpunkish.
I was to say, healing with cards sounds like Deadlands.
Yep.
Yeah, it's as I haven't dove too much into the new classes yet. I have unlocked Dark Knight, but I haven't done much with it because I'm just going to try and get through the story content and trying to unlock as many things as I can in the amount of time that I have to play the game.
Yeah, that's always the time, is finding free time to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole grown-up thing.
All right, so yeah, being grown-up sucks.
It does.
So kids. Try not to grow up.
Don't
try
grow
to
up.
be a kid as much as you can. Now, you do try to get out there and get the great job, so you continue. Getting a great job will help you be a kid longer.
There you go.
It cracks me up, this generation, because I think very much our co-generation, because we're grown ups, we do the grown up things, but then again, we still play video games and read comic books and see superhero movies, and it's a good thing.
Right, and when you grow up, you want to have all those things, but still, eventually you can have the wall of fun like I have behind me.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So, other things.
You gotta be an adult so you can afford the wall of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and be old enough to be able to have, all the way down to the PlayStation 1 that I have on the side there.
Stay up late enough to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. New class. Classes. More things in Heaven's War that came out is if you are, let's say you're a Mac player. Let's say you're a gamer, but you only have a Mac. Well, you can now join us in the game because there's now a native Mac client. You don't have to boot camp. You don't have to do any of this crazy wine stuff. You just download and drag it to install, and poof, Heaven's Word on a Mac.
Very nice.
Right. So, so if you are a Mac player, you can join us. And again, it's same same servers, do make sure that you do have a max CD key though to put on your account though. The CD keys are not shared over to different platforms. It's just one of the rules that they have to follow to be able to make the game cross-platform. And again, when I say cross-platform, PC, Mac, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, same servers.
Yep, very nice.
All right. So, new classes. If you are on the Windows client, you get something called DirectX 11. DirectX 11 allows to take advantage of modern hardware for increased graphical fidelity. In normal speak, it means it make pretty game even more pretty game. All right. So with the DirectX 11, the ground looks more like a ground, not just a flat plane with a picture on it to make it look like rocks. It now looks like there's rocks on the ground, little pebbles. There's reflections in marble and in water. It looks great.
But it's a gorgeous game, anyways.
Yes, and 11 makes it even better. And if you have a high-end rig, one of the things that maybe even like in AIE events where we have 1,000 people on the screen at once, such as let's say a running of the beef or running of the somethings, where you have a ton of people on the screen at once, your machine may start chugging in a very slow frame rate.
Right.
DirectX 11 solves a lot of those issues. Now, if you still get a bazillion people in one zone, it's still going to clog your machine down. But I found
that has more to do with the server, I think, than the machine.
Yeah, but the animation is still each individual animations on there. It's still your local machine, right? If there's the game says this person's walking and they're doing the walking animation, the game knows what the walking animation is supposed to look like. If there's 500 people on the screen, it's going to chug because it can't keep up with 500 walking animations. Even though someone might be walking in place, that's lag. But someone doing like a stuttering walk, that's probably your computer. DirectX 11 alleviates a lot of performance issues with vast amounts of people. Now, if your computer is sort of on the command side, that might not help you. You might not see a difference, but if you have a very beefy rig and you have a lot of people that normally slows your machine down with that, you will see a little bit of a frame rate, less of a decrease on there.
Okay, good.
All right. Other fun things to talk about. Let's talk about flying.
Yay, please.
All right, so flying. Do you like to fly on flying mounts in current content?
Yes, please.
Of course you do. Don't we all? That's why we all win. We're not going there. But flying mounts in Final Fantasy XIV. You can fly relatively early in Final Fantasy XIV once you unlock it for each zone. Now, first thing you need to do is get a flying mount. Now, before you can even unlock flying, you get the flying mount, so that's not an issue. So you always have something that can fly through the air. But you do need one of those, obviously. And a lot of the existing mounts also have flying properties as well. Some of them do.
Right.
So getting the flying mount to be able to fly isn't the issue. It's the actually unlocking flying. And what you need to do there is, once you get through a certain point in the scenario quest, you will unlock the ability to gather the currents in each zone. The currents is, some of them are side quests, some of them are main story quests, and some of them are just random points in the zone that you just have to walk up to and click on them, and you get that current. And once you get enough currents in that zone, you then unlock flying in the zone. So the recommendation that the developers have says if you explore the zone, go through the quest, you won't have any problem finding all the currents in the zone. In fact, they give you an item to actually help you find the currents, that that one last current that you have to click on. It will help you find it in the game by clicking by like a little compass. So once you do that, you can then fly around to unlock new areas, new quests, new gathering zones, new hunts, new everythings. All right. Get the wind. Oh, and through the story, you can make your own airship. There is a.
Yay! Oh my gosh!
You get a personal airship as well that you can fly around on. I have not done that yet. I need to work on it a little more, but
Is it
is
pretty
there.
much like a one-person flying mount equivalent, or
Yes,
are there multiple?
that's exactly what it is.
Can you take passengers? Okay, great.
Not yet. There is a couple multi-person mounts in the game, but they're through refer a friend, which also got changed in the expansion. I don't have that in the show notes. I'm just going to, because I was looking at this for one of my friends here that was here over the weekend. But you do refer a friend, and they buy the game. You get the bro fist bump emote. So
No.
boom. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's a two-person emote. So you do a fist bump.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Very cool.
So yeah. So and as you can recruit more friends to get you get additional rewards, or you can just have them subscribe for a longer period of time to get a lot of rewards. And there's a lot of things that they're saying you can get, a lot of things that are not published yet. But multi-person rewards, 99 teleport tickets, so you can teleport around without spending any gil. For those who are not aware, instead to zip around from zone to zone anywhere in the world, you click on your teleport skill, and this has 0 cooldown, but it costs money to teleport. So you just click on the town you want to go to, the little crystal you want to go to. You click on it, and it says, "Are you sure you want to go?" Or if you have one of the tickets, say, "Do you want to spend a ticket so you can travel for free?" Now, we in AIE, we always run the reduce rates free company buff, which does reduce the cost of that, because that is probably the biggest expense. Normal expense, that and repairs. Unless you're addicted to crafting, then I can't help you. But we tried to lessen the blow of that, and we're all also during the first chunk of the expansion. We're also doing the experience buff as well. So as you're adventuring, we have a venture experience buff.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Okay.
Very cool.
All right. Let's see. What else do I have on here? So right now the game, it's going through its leveling process right now, which means they're going to have the game run, and you can go from 50 to 60 or 0 to 60, depending on where you start the game at. And they want people to enjoy the game right now, so they actually don't have any in-game raids in the game right now. They said flat out there won't be any raids for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So you can play the game casually and explore, maybe level a couple extra characters, do whatever you do, but the raids will start in 2 weeks. And then the raid this year is Alexander. And for those who are not familiar with the Nope, Alexander
Oh,
the
really?
Primal.
You went there?
I went there. I'm sorry. Fine, the great. Whatever.
No, this Alexander in Final Fantasy lore, because a lot of these things do have Final Fantasy, traditional Final Fantasy tropes on there, right? So
Good.
So for those who played Final Fantasy in the past, let's say you played 13, and one of the summons was Alexander, which brings down a gigantic armored castle with gigantic guns to blow up the little level 1 rat that you're trying to kill.
It's overkill. The epitome of.
Yeah. Well, most summons are overkill. I mean, if you play, if you haven't played, and you want to see some crazy summons, look up Final Fantasy X summons. Those are some of the best. Look them up on YouTube. They're pretty. They are pretty cool. Pretty cool animations, and take a long time. That's my phone. Hi. That's the house phone. I can't mute that. So we'll just let that go.
You're fine.
But moving on from there, Alexander in Final Fantasy XIV is going to be the raid zone for this expansion. That's going to again start in 2 weeks after the expansion hits. So that's going to be in about the first week in July is when that starts. And then 2 weeks from there, we will have the Savage version of it. So for those who want to have, a very almost like a heroic raid experience, that's what Savage is for.
Gotcha.
And this thing is a gigantic fortress, which you're going to go into different sections of the fortress is going to be your raid. All right.
I just went. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, those are the big points I have here. Membership for AIE within there is way up. We're having.
Good.
I think the record that I saw online that I saw in my, just my own personal notes there, was around 30 people online at a time.
Perfect.
Groups are dungeons are groups of 4.
That makes it really easy to find someone to go with.
That's great. It's really easy for people who need to get caught up. I've never found a time that people were looking for people. They just said, I need help with this dungeon so I can get into Heaven's Ward. No problem.
Great.
And it'd be not a problem. People were just able to jump in there and finish up that content. Because you do need to finish up the 2.55 story quest line to be able to start Heaven's Ward, because it does lead into each other, and there is a lot of story elements that are a lot of the just like any other great game, a lot of cliffhangers to end the 255. So for those of us who were playing, when 255 came down and we went through that and had the very cinematic, very long, but very tear-jerking ending and cliffhanger ending.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven's Ward picks up right where that leaves off, so we get some resolution on and some, dare I say, revenge on the things that happened in 255. So
that's great.
It's a great emotional story that it's I definitely if you like to put up big DPS numbers and don't care about story, that Final Fantasy does have a game for you there, but it makes it much more worthwhile if you do get invested in the characters and the story and the whole culture, the clashing of cultures you have throughout the game.
Beautiful.
All right.
Hey, we have a question from the chat room. It says, Abavan, can I ask, what is your favorite race/class in Final Fantasy XIV? I feel like I'm getting set up here.
Yes, you are. You are. Now,
okay, good.
My favorite class is Black Mage. I thoroughly enjoyed Black Mage. I like the Black Mage in this game feels it's an ebb and flow type character where you need to use up all your mana to show up while you're in fire mode, which is your high DPS mode, to blow up all those who oppose you. And then when you run out of mana or MP, because it's the same thing, your energy, you go into ice mode. So you start throwing ice spells out at the bad guys, and that will regenerate your mana. And so if it almost feels like how balance used to feel back in, let's say, in Wrath and maybe a little bit in Cataclysm. All right, so
gotcha.
it sort of had that feel there, where you have that little ebb and flow on how the Black Mage works, and I find it very fun. And there's a lot of synergy with a lot of other classes, such as Archer, and there is some other class it uses some skills from. As far as race goes, there's a lot of races in the game. I remind everyone that I am 6+ feet tall in real life, 270 something. I need to lose some weight, but still, I'm a relatively large man. In Final Fantasy XIV, I play the Lalafell.
Yes.
Lalafell are about 2 feet tall.
Oh my
They
gosh.
are extremely cute, and I'll be sure to tweet some pictures of me after the podcast, so you can see how I am, or just Google Lalafell.
Great.
There's a couple Reddits out there for them that are pretty awesome.
So it's like a goblin or a gnome standing next to a Tauren or a Draenei.
Think gnome that's not annoying.
Yeah.
Like a gnome you want to hug, not punt all the way across or beat into the ground repetitively because AIE says, all right, Coop run,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I did just Google it. Oh my gosh, they are bloody adorable.
Have them do some dances or do some cheers. I'll have to do some little compilations of the emotes, because some of the emotes are pretty awesome. Plus, there's the glamour system, which is like the transmog system in WoW.
Right.
So you can make them look like nearly anything you want, like any gear set you want, and they look there's a lot of cosmetic gear sets that are made just to be
Cool.
yeah, just to be cool or look absolutely ridiculous or whatever you like. Cool. But yes, I do play LFL. I do play primarily as Black Mage, but I do have a Paladin as at the 50. I do have White Mage at 50. I do have Archer at 50. So those are some of the classes that I do play.
On the same character or different?
Yeah, same character. I do have most characters
I...
to at least 30. I think I'm missing one or two from the old ones, and I have the new classes start at 30. So there's you do have to get to Heaven Wars to unlock it, but once you do, those classes will start at 30.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a fun class to play. Now with a Fantasia potion, which is something you get once you subscribe for 30 days, or you can purchase them for $10 a pop. You drink one of those, and when you log into the game next, you will come up with the character creation screen for your character, so you can change your class, change your race, your gender, and all the facial features and everything else right then and there.
Cool.
So it's the appearance change like you normally do, but it costs $10.
Right.
All right.
It's a barbershop with $10.
Right. Now there is a barbershop in the game for just changing hair and facial features.
Right.
But if you want to do a complete redesign of your character, it costs you $10. But the in-game barber, which only costs in-game gil, is actually relatively relatively powerful for what it can do for no dollars.
Gotcha.
Right.
Very cool.
And if you want to redesign your character, and one of the things you can do is you download the benchmark, which has the character creator built into it. So if you want to create the character before dropping the $10, because you say, I'm not sure if I want to see how it looks, you can create the character in the character creator before dropping the $10.
Oh wow, that's great.
And then save the template.
Oh, and just import it into the game.
Right. Or let's say you didn't buy the game yet. First, shame on you. But you didn't buy the game yet, but you want to see what the characters look like, you can download the benchmark tool for free. There's no cost for the benchmark tool. So you can purchase that and then create all the characters you want, and then say, until you decide that, yes, I can afford the time to play another game or convert to Final Fantasy XIV, whatever you want to do, and play the game from there.
And there goes all of McCullough's free time.
Oh, right? Wait, I don't have free time. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
But I do kind of want to play around and see what the character creation looks like.
Get the cat.
You end up with a cat person like Aludra.
I'm not a cat person.
Yes, we know.
There's a lot of people. You can get the character creator for free, so if you want to play around with that with no financial commitment, go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and do that, and you can see how the game plays on your computer. I mean, if anything, it's worthwhile for that. And yes, you do get a. I know you get a free potion. I know there's a question in the chat room saying I thought you got a free potion with the expansion. I know I got one through the collector's edition. I will not certain you got one with the standard edition. I am about 60% sure you do. Not high, but I'm leaning more on the side of yes than no.
They may have just thrown that in with the collector's edition to make it more attractive.
Probably, because this is a collector's edition in this gigantic box. It wasn't the cheapest collector's edition I've ever had. It wasn't. Now there is a digitals collector's you can get. You get all the digital items.
Right.
But in case you have no room, or you don't have or you have no desire for all the statues and the Blu-rays and the art books and so forth, you can still get it through. Through the
collector's edition.
Digital stuff. You get the Griffin mount, you get the Baron helmet and the Fantasia potion and something else. I'm trying to remember what it is off my head. I guess I can look. at the box.
At the obnoxiously huge collector's edition.
Yeah.
That blocks your head.
There it is. Those are all the stuff it comes with. And you can see down here
That's impressive.
the items, which you probably can't see because Google Hangouts resolution gets a little funky at times, but you do get a Griffin mount. You do get the Baron helmet to look like the Dark Knight from Final Fantasy IV. And by 4, I mean what we now call 4. I don't call... Yeah, because back in the day, there was a mix-up of U.S. numbers and Japanese numbers. They're all synced now, but I still call 4. And if you go to the iOS store or Steam and you buy 4, you get what was 2 back in the day.
Yeah. Because numbers are hard.
Yes. Now numbers are easy. At least numbering Final Fantasies. Until you get to 10 and 10-2 or 13, 13-2, 13-3. Yeah.
7 remastered HD.
7.2.
Oh, 7 remastered. Let's talk about 7 remastered. Okay.
Oh no, there's a can of worms we just opened.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
It's your fault. I am digging that. Okay, for those who don't know, at E3 happened, the big gaming event there, and there was a little teaser not long, but they did flat out just say, after a very gorgeous little cinematic.
Beautiful, right.
A nice little voiceover, and then it hit the first couple chords of the original Final Fantasy VII game, which made me literally jump out of my seat when I saw it. And then show down a little profile of Cloud and Barrett, and there's a Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
And I was jumping up and down. I am so stoked for this. Yeah.
We were actually gaming that night, and our GM declared, so at 6 o'clock, we're going to need to put the game on pause. If we want to do dinner, then that'd be great, because I'm waiting for the Final Fantasy announcement.
Yep. I just... the remake, and I think John mentioned this on his podcast, the remake kind of scares me because... There's so much to 7, and to remake that entire game in HD, if they miss something, they're going to have upset fans.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Well, I think there will always be someone who will be upset.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think a reasonable fan who will look at this as a remaking something that is beloved by many people, bring it up to modern standards, because there's a lot of people that this is Final Fantasy VII was their first RPG period. Their first introduction, not just first Final Fantasy game, it may be their first RPG, the first style of actually leveling up, gaining gear to increase your stats, finding the right synergies between different characters, adding material, and going through a very epic storyline. This may be their first experience with that for a lot of people, especially people my age and younger. Now, some people there may not even played 7. They may, their first MMO, their first RPG experience might have been WoW for that. So 7's a very important part of gaming history, because that made PlayStation the system for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And
just a reminder, since we're talking about Final Fantasy, don't forget about a little game on iOS and Android called Final Fantasy Bookkeeper. If you like the
Record
fighting,
Keeper.
Record Keeper, that's right. Yeah, if you like the fights and But yeah, no, it's fun, and it will bring you back for all the different Final Fantasy games.
There you go.
And yeah, it's fun.
oh, there's my iOS tag. Feel free to add me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's a fun little game. It plays a lot. It's a combination of all the Final Fantasy games, even the ones that may have been released in the United States originally. So you'll be able to take characters from different ones and recreate boss fights and trash from all the games, pretty much across all the Final Fantasy game spectrum, getting items. There's crafting involved. There's combinations, and probably my favorite thing about the game is that it is not a cash grab. there's actually
No.
very few items that you can actually spend money on. In fact, I actually looked. I think there's too few ways to spend money on the game. I was like looking for. I got stuck somewhere. I was looking. All right, how much? Let's talk about it. And you couldn't spend money on it. You had to.
Yeah.
You had to play through the game and do the in-game stuff to get to it. So
yeah, the addition of friends is really
spend money if you wanted to. There is some stuff you can purchase for for some extra loot rolls for cash, but nothing that is mandatory. In fact, not most things you can't spend real money on. You have to do it. And by exchanging your little friend codes with that one, there's a forum thread on that I, of course, I'm on there and many others. You pop your friend codes in, and you can bring in a character that you designated to be a realm hopper to fight with other people around there. If they use your character, then you get gil, and they get someone that can turn a tide of one of their fights that they're working on. So it's beneficial for both people.
Yep. And again, that's on the forums, folks. Use the forums.
Forums are good.
They are.
We use the forums quite a bit in Final Fantasy XIV to do a lot of coordination stuff. So go there too to see how much awesomely fun that we're having, and so we can help you have a great time in Final Fantasy XIV, and we can all collectively have a great time.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Anything else about Final Fantasy XIV or other?
Not right now. All I can say is, I love to introduce you to the game. If you are not sure where to start, give me a holler. I'll be more than happy to get you started in the game. I will be more than happy to, walk you through, get your feet wet. If you're worried about, I haven't played 1 through 13, I don't know what's going on, meh. Think Twilight Zone.
You're fine.
Think Twilight Zone.
Yeah, exactly.
There's themes. Each game they have similar themes to each one, but the story in the first episode of the Twilight Zone doesn't apply to the 8th one at all.
Right.
Nothing. Reset.
Is there a refer a friend at all?
There is refer a friend. There is a 14-day trial that you can do right now, but if you do refer a friend to when you actually purchase the game, you will both get rewards, including a little hat that will give you a experience. I think it's it's 10% experience bonus up to level 20, just by wearing this little hat.
Sure,
and many other things.
Thread.
Yes,
sure
but
there's a forum thread with IDs and stuff.
Just say if you're looking to play the game, drop a message on there saying, "Hey, I want to play with AIE. Can someone give me a refer a friend?" You'll get a response in minutes.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, so Twitter question from last week. Question was, what game, so Guild Wars 2, WoW, and or Final Fantasy, or any other, will you be spending a majority of your time in this week? Lovely Sybil says Star Trek 60%, WoW 40%. Wow, you'd think I'd like this guy's name. Ayavagos said, out of those, WoW, but Door Kicker is really eating my time. Sage3 the Healer says, wow, so many chores. And it's also fun exploring the new area and finding new things. Joe Brun, so Kerosene Kid, I believe, says, trying Hearthstone while on vacation. Dan Kinneas says, WoW has most of my gaming time this week. Our own Ivory Tiger Tetsumi says, wow, so much to see and explore. And Tay just said that he is resubscribing to Final Fantasy this week. I'm sure that'll be the game I play the most. WoW comes in second, of course. Kazrick says, Final Fantasy 14 for me. Our new question actually relates directly to Heaven's Ward, and Ted's going to ask it because I can't read show notes.
So, Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Ward. Awesome expansion? Or awesomest expansion? What do you love and don't love about it? And that's our show tonight. With the chat, while the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Abavan for joining us. Abavan, where can people find you besides the forums? I know you're at Abavan on Twitter.
Indeed.
And where else can they find you?
Well, at Amavan on Twitter is what was just said there. You can also look up the Final Fantasy XIV AIE Twitter account, which is AIE_XIV. We also tend to use the hashtag internally for hashtag FFXIVAIE. It's a little hashtag we use internally. Elsewhere on the interwebs, I am Amavan pretty much everywhere now. So for those who are PlayStation players, Amavan. For those who are Steam players, Amavan. For those who play other games with me, Amavan.
Amavan.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much a one-trick pony. I'm pretty much a one-trick pony at that point.
Very cool. Right.
All right. So, if you have questions or comments about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us at Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Eludra is at Eludra_AIE. I am at Cyberwave, and Tetsumi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room like so many amazing folks did tonight, and play along with us on the website, theaiepodcast.com. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul, or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
And now it's time to play all of the great AIE member segments we received this week, including Ask Miss Mulgrew. ODN is on temporary hiatus and we'll be back next week.
All right. And by the way, we are taking next week off to celebrate the 4th of July. After that, though, we'll be talking to the crew from EVE on July 12th. So until then, AIE, this is Makala.
This is Tetsumi, and this has been the AIE Podcast.
Bye!
All right, you got a lot of show titles to go through.
I do got a lot of show titles to go through. Wow, and there's a lot of people in this chat room tonight.
Thank you, guys. Like I said, Abo, your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That's all I got to say.
That's what I do. I got a lot of fans, apparently.
Or Final Fantasy XIV does, the AIE does. We like it.
Yeah, well, I do want to see. I feel bad coming on the podcast all the time because I want to see the other games come up too.
We're getting them. It just takes time.
Yeah, we need to get.
We have
I want Guild Wars.
Tour this month.
Let's pound Jen again on the show to talk Guild Wars for a while.
He was on last week.
He was on last week, but.
Talking about random stuff.
Yeah, we'll get him on to talk Guild Wars too.
Yeah, I'll get on that. I'll talk to him. All right, so what do we got here? We got AIE Aeronauts Obey Henry. We have Get Your Lalafell Flying or AIE Aeronauts Obey Henry. Okay, same one. Your Own Personal Airship. A game that's bigger than your head. A MMO with flying included.
Always a nice one.
CE is bigger than a Lalafell.
This is true.
Wow. Let's go with Heavensward CE is bigger than a Lalafell. I like that one.
Yay! Congrats, Tay. Your show title has been chosen. And with that, we want to say thank you, chat room. You guys are awesome. Oh, Arlena tried to sneak one in after the voting is ended.
Nope.
I will put it on the show notes. She's a full-sized Final Fantasy fun.
So which one got the show note or the title?
Tay. Heavensward Collector's Edition is bigger than a Lalafell.
Here's the side of the box for those who haven't seen this yet. Here's the side of the box with the artwork. That's pretty cool.
Huge.
Yes. Yeah. Is there any on the
It's not, like the WoW expansions are bookshelf games, like you could put them in a bookshelf. That thing you just got to put on a shelf by itself and display it. So.
And there's the front of the box after you take the sleeve off.
Right. Very cool.
And it's a weird puzzle trying to get it open on and off, and then it came. And then there's the box that the statue came in.
Right, which takes up a lot of the room.
It takes up most of the box.
Yeah.
I guess the box that the statue came in is the only thing that's left in the box. Because I have the Blu-ray in my PlayStation right now, and then I have the art book right here, and then I brought the statue down for the podcast. And I'm running out of room in my display sheet, in my little display case over there.
Yeah.
I mean, the far one is where I have all my game controllers charging.
Gotcha.
And I have my Warcraft expansions, my StarCraft collectors.
Yeah. You almost need another unit.
I got my Warhammer Online collector edition. Because I love getting collector editions for games that don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
We're talking about you, Rift. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Rift is still around. Rift is still here.
I
It's
know.
not like they canned Rift. Is there any games that we got in that they canned? I don't think they're.
No. I think we got out of the game before it got canned.
Right.
All right.
But,
well, with that, I'm going to kill the stream chat room.
Don't
All right,
kill the
guys.
stream. That's where we keep our friends. Damn it.